Right. That's right, Conroe. We're back to Nerd Thug Radio. Top of the hour here. You're driving around and you're listening to the best show in the history of the known planet. Right, Nico?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely radio-wise, at least.
Yeah.
No,
for
in
sure.
all forms of media. In the history of all media,
Right.
since the beginning until the end, there will never be a better show than the Nerd Thug Radio. That is the opinion of one Nicolas de la Guardia.
It's true. I work on it.
Oh, do you mean Nick of Time?
Yes. Yes.
That's really good.
So this is Corey DLG, and you're listening to us on 104.5, 106.1.
It's true.
They're the sister stations.
Yep.
You can check us out on nerdthugradio.com or on Facebook /nerdthugradio or on Twitter or on LiveJournal or blogs or other places or just
LiveJournal.
If you Google Nerd Thug Radio, you'll win an award and you'll find us. One of those is true, one of those is not. Good luck figuring out which.
It's not the one you think.
Right. No, it probably is. I mean, who knows what you think? Because you're on the radio and you hear me.
Did you know you can just buy trophies?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm good at so many things now.
You can just sign kids up that aren't yours and take their trophies when, like, the season's over.
I don't need... What?
Yeah, just sign up kids for, like, baseball and stuff and just be like, yeah, that's my kid. And then when the season's over and he gets participation award, because you would not pick a good baseball player.
So your suggestion here is to register another person's child for something to get a trophy you can just go and buy?
Yeah.
Because you're an adult with a credit card?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more fun to steal it from a kid than it is to buy it at a store.
I guess.
Duh.
I guess, but couldn't you, like, don't you have to not get the paperwork involved in registering a stranger? Couldn't you just steal it from a kid?
And this is why we wind up with 15-minute segments. Anyway, it's that time of the day, guys, where we do the weekly top 3. This is in honor of Spider-Man's movie coming out this weekend.
Spider-Man's.
We know everyone's going to go see Peter Parker in his Spider-Man glory. Little Robert Downey Jr. this time, mixing it up. There's going to be Michael Keaton's The Vulture. And the Shocker apparently is in this movie also.
Oh, man. You mean not Electro?
Not Electro. Nope. Jamie Foxx was busy and no one else is worthy.
Who's playing the Shocker?
I don't know. I just noticed in some of the previews they got a guy with like big, vibrant electric gloves shooting Spider-Man around. So that's who the Shocker is.
That makes sense.
It might not even actually be called the Shocker, but just be like an homage. And then also they did the cool little homage of like the Scarlet Spider blue hoodie suit. I've seen that in some of the previews. So this is going to be an interesting movie. There's going to be a lot going on because they're pulling from a lot of different Peter Parker, Spider-Man angles to tell this story.
I also feel like there's going to be a lot of nods to, like, comic book Spider-Man fans.
Yeah.
And like, it'll go completely over the heads of people who are fans of Spider-Man, but via the movies only. Like
Right.
The Scarlet Spider thing, like, I recognize he was wearing a hoodie, but I never would have made the connection to the Scarlet Spider.
Right. So, in honor of all of that, we're doing a weekly top 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're not going to freestyle because there's 4 of us. We're going to kind of just try and get through this because one thing we've done without the Savage has gone way over on time. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to be concise and we're going to be hilarious, or we'll probably just be concise. Nico, you're
All right,
number
here we
3.
go. When Spider-Man attempts to get a suit together, and it's absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
Much, any attempt at that, either in the original movies or like when he goes into like the wrestling ring and he's got like a weird mask on, or in the new Spider-Man, he's got like weird goggles.
Yeah, when he's no, I definitely
He does seem surprisingly bad at wardrobe for somebody who's supposed to be very, very, very intelligent.
Exactly.
Well, and that's definitely like an element of Spider-Man, right? Like in the comic books, he's had probably more different looks and costumes than like any other character at all.
I feel like that's more relatable.
It's too much.
Well, that's the thing is like
I got a lot of outfits, guys. I gotta look nice.
Well, he's
like the indecisiveness where you're like, this works, no, this works.
Well,
no.
he's like the lovable loser, and so like sometimes he's in over his head, so he has to do something drastic to help save the world, and so he uses a different suit. Sometimes it's just at one point, Spider-Man, for whatever happened to him, he winds up naked, and he's at the Fantastic Four building, so he borrows a Fantastic Four suit, and then to protect his identity, he webs a paper bag onto his head. So he literally fights crime like in the middle of this adventure, barefoot, wearing a paper bag and a Fantastic Four suit.
The bombastic Bagman.
That's right, and that was actually a variant action figure at one point. When I had my little comic book shop, I got a hold of one and sold that bad boy for $80. Because
and it was like a 4-inch figure.
It's literally a 4-inch figure.
Yeah.
Those were real dollars.
Not Monopoly money this time,
right.
boys.
That's just what happens with collectibles, just in general. Stupid random, hard to get
Throg
things become worth.
Is a $100 hero cook piece.
That's right, and that's
I rest my case.
The Thor frog.
Victoria.
So yeah, that's relevant. Victoria, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is gonna be. I guess I'm just a fan of the movies. I haven't read
That's
any
fine, that's
comic
fine.
books.
What a
so-
square.
Go movie.
Yeah,
on
I
me.
know. I'm a fake fan.
Fake fan.
Fake fan. My number 3 is probably gonna be like the quintessential like Spider-Man upside down kissing scene.
The
And
Mary
that,
Jane
and that was
kiss?
like the Mary Jane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene.
Seems totally impractical. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seems
does-
weird to get things coordinated, but
Yeah.
if anybody can make it work, I'm sure Spider-Man can.
Well, like in a non-vertical situation, you could totally do that, right? Like it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Like,
But even in a non-vertical situation, it's nose to chin
Yeah.
and nose
That's-
to like lower face. Like it's not a good kissing position.
No.
Those
like,
parts of your lips don't line up correctly.
That's true.
No.
Although if you
I think
both
the
have
chin is
big
gonna handle
noses,
it. Yeah.
if you both have big noses, you've got no other option.
If you both have big noses, your lips don't even touch in an upside down kiss like that.
Why wouldn't they? Because the noses would line up with chins.
Yeah.
Right, but then they'd be blocking each other.
No, that's if you're both facing each other. Would they be blocking each other?
Why would you kiss if you weren't facing
How are
the
you?
same?
That's what I'm saying. If you were one was upside down and one was right side up,
You're still facing each other.
but the noses would then line up. Chins.
No, but it would be like this. If you both had big noses.
All right, we were spending way too much
Yeah,
time on
sorry.
this.
I'm gonna do a diagram there later, but he was doing an L7 weenie sign for those who don't know. Zach, you're number 3.
Uncle Ben's death.
Okay.
I'm not a big.
All right. I mean,
I'm not
Man,
a big
he was
Spider-Man.
dead.
And let me qualify it. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I don't. It's boring to me.
Okay.
I do think though that Spider-Man is the Boy Scout poster boy of Marvel, right?
Right.
And so I think that Uncle Ben's death, and with great power comes great responsibility. That's an oft quoted line, and a line that a lot of people who know nothing about comics know.
Exactly.
So I think Uncle Ben's death was a good catalyst for the tortured hero kind of shtick. And I have to take something on, not because I want to, but because someone I care about has convinced me that this thing I've gotten is not just for me to be, Mr. Cool Guy, good times.
yeah, he definitely. That is
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
crux of the origin story is the death of Uncle Ben. So that is relevant to the story of Spider-Man, and most importantly, he doesn't do this out of a sense of. I would almost even say like goodness.
It's not a desire that
Right.
he doesn't.
He doesn't want to put on a suit and fight crime. He
It's a
feels like
mantle he's been given.
he feels like he
It's-
has no choice but to do this, and
It's like that saying, and I forget who said it, but it's the people who should be in power are the ones who don't want it, right? And
Right.
I think Spider-Man defines that perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. You're kind of paraphrasing. I don't know what the quote is.
But
Yeah,
it's along those lines.
Right.
But
and
anyway,
and you're
Spider-Man.
right. You're right. That's kind of the idea is that he feels like he has to. And there's been plenty of times in comic books where someone's like, you don't have to go back out there. Like, it's been bad. You're hurt. It's not like there are other heroes in this city.
Right.
It doesn't have to be
Right.
you.
He can't take a day off.
Right. And he's like, I have to. I'm the guy. I'm Spider-Man.
Yep.
It's got to happen.
Yep.
So for me,
Ben's death.
Ben's death and Uncle Ben and the rice that goes with it. For me, number 3 is the Scarlet Spider. It was a
Fighting
cool,
the Scarlet Spider?
just the moment the Scarlet Spider came in. The story itself was sort of dumb because he's like a return of a dead clone, and then it just gets real messy from there. But the look was really. We just said they changed costume all the time, but for a long time there was a period of inactivity where they really didn't mess with his costume, and the Scarlet Spider showed up with a completely different look, but was still very Spider-Man. It was a red bodysuit with a blue hoodie, and the blue hoodie had a Spider-Man symbol, like a spider symbol on it, but it was all just completely different stylized. Instead of all the accoutrement being hidden, like the web shooters and the belt with the different stuff, it was all on the outside. And it made kind of this weird dynamic where it was like, it was almost kind of the reverse of what Peter Parker is.
It wasn't sleek.
Right, it was very cool in like an unexpected way.
Yeah.
And that element really kind of, it really kind of grabbed your attention for a moment when sort of all comics were a little bit boring. It was like, man, this is a really cool, it was such a stark contrast. It made a really lasting
it was
impression.
visually exciting, even if the character themselves didn't change.
Right.
So Nico, real quick, do you want to do your number 2 and then we'll get out of here with it?
No, I think we have to.
Right now, huh?
Right now,
Oh my
right?
gosh. All right, well then in that case, what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll do our 2s and 1s real quick style. Nerd Thug Radio, #talking nerdy to you.
You.